Hey Elizabeth, how you been?
I'm good. Inga. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just keeping busy, boys. Where are you located at, by the way?
I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
I'm in Las Vegas,
How
Nevada.
about you?
Kind of far.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's amazing how internet can connect us, right?
Yeah, I think that's kind of nice. It's really important, especially when
What time
you
is
need
it?
community. It's
Mhm.
2:21. That's
Yeah,
my daughter, Emily.
there we go. How about that? Why don't we just start talking about her? So, how would you like to share about your journey with your daughter, Emily?
Well, she is definitely changed my life. She's given it a lot of direction. I had one plan, and it was like, nope, that's not going to happen. And really thought like, what do you mean for photo? Okay. What do you mean remember that photo? What do you mean remember for photo? A photo. Okay, I'll put it right here. What do you mean about of the photo? You want to play with this? Here you go. Okay. Graduated, I was like, okay, what my life's gonna be like. And then I have this beautiful girl, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't really want to do that anymore. I did, but I didn't want it to be like was involved. And then diagnosed with autism, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Mhm.
And I just sort of, I don't know, I think we just sort of took it in stride. And, she got older. There were challenges, of course, but I don't know, she kind of makes me see the magic of life, you know? which is really neat. Um,
That's understandable. Yeah, I mean, they do change our lives. I mean, they make us see
yeah,
them in a different
yeah.
and makes us have more patience, of course.
Photo. Yep. I don't know. One of the things I always liked about Emily is that she's very intuitive. A lot of times I might doubt, which sometimes I'm like, is this a good thing or not? And she'll say yes or no. And she's always right on the mark. So which I know that sounds a little strange, but I usually find that she's pretty right about things because she picks up on things that I might miss and other people definitely miss.
No, that makes sense. I mean, that's what actually with my son, I see that in him too. Like, I would actually ask him like certain people, like if he likes this person or not, and because he can actually tell them if like the person is good or bad, or if he
Yeah.
doesn't relate to this person, I know that that's not really a good person that needs to be around him. And so then, but if he is good with that person, he thrives with them. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's a very good at reading people also. He
Yeah.
can their vibes, I guess vibrations, or what to call it, but you can actually see the good in people, I think. And so I think that's pretty
Yeah.
cool about your daughter, right? Like how she can see the good in people, basically.
She can't. Well, sometimes, yes, but
It's Miles. It's Miles, the Princess Diaries of 226.
we'll watch the Princess Diaries when we're done. But
You.
sometimes, if I'm doing energy healing with people,
It's Miles.
she'll come in and start, talking, and I'll just say, Emily, come on, help me out. So they'll get like a double treatment. I'll be like, oh my gosh.
Oh
So,
wow,
yeah. So she does it. So it's kind of neat.
that's good. Because she's also been raised around it too, so she's like she knows exactly what to do, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good. So when did you find out how we like when you realize that she's not having delays and not being like typical
Sure.
child?
Actually, my ex-husband did.
Oh, okay.
I just was looking at the way she stacked her toys and the way she did with her dolls. I'm like, she's not playing with them the regular way. Look at what a genius she is.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I was just like, she's so
Yeah.
the person was like, and she had early intervention because she'd be born so early. And they were like, I think you should get her tested for autism. And I'm like, but why? I don't what's wrong with what she's doing? I didn't really understand. I mean, we studied it in school, but I didn't really understand like I said, but what she's brilliant. Look how smart she is. Like, what I don't get it. So we did, and then she had it, and I was like, oh, okay, what does this mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
It's basically just a diagnosis, right? I mean, still your child, and you just, you do whatever you can to help them, no matter what. That's a speech delay or
yeah,
nonverbal?
a speech. Yeah, she didn't speak until she was about 3.
Hmm.
Kind of interesting. She had the stomach flu, and we're gonna have the Princess Diaries in a minute. And didn't let her eat, and
Hmm.
she was hungry because I didn't want her to throw up again. I was like, honey, you got to hold down water. And she goes, and she looks at me and she goes, hungry, want toast.
Hmm.
And I was like,
Okay.
what's it?
Yeah. So how long she's able to talk, she just didn't want to, right?
Probably. She
Hmm.
was like, nope, never had a reason to. You did it all for me.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. All right. Well, that's great. And what? What would you say like is your proudest moment with your daughter?
I don't know. I think there's different moments. Like today we went to this little coffee shop that we like to go to, and she at the Ruckus Art Gallery. If you're in Pittsburgh, go. It's awesome. She asked the owner, Paula, for a hug.
Oh, really?
And I was like, oh my gosh. And then sometimes like she loves babies. She's really gentle. She'll talk to babies. She'll go, hi, she just adores them and she's kind and she shares. So I don't know if it's like the moment, but I get really excited when she does that because I think she's very pretty, she's smart, she's good at art, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
What really makes me proud is that she has a good heart.
No, it's great. No, it's definitely something, forward to. I mean, definitely it's good when they can actually, show the emotions, basically, be compassionate towards other people and actually go out of their comfort zone and actually, everything else show affection, basically. A lot of kids on the spectrum, I don't think they really show affection. I mean, my son does. I mean, he loves being hugged and kissed and everything else, but I know a lot of kids are kind of like more standoffish. And so that's good that your daughter, likes the affection and, knows how to give the affection back. So I think that's a great thing.
Good because I'm a big hugger, so.
I mean, she doesn't mind, of course. Does she mind anybody else's like affection or anything like that? Or does she kind of standoffish a little bit?
No, I mean, it really depends on her comfort level. Like some people, she doesn't always look them in the eyes, but she does with me. And sometimes she will give hugs. For a lot of people, she'll back up into them and she'll want to be hugged, but she won't give them a hug. For me, I always get the regular hug. She did this afternoon with Paula. She just wrapped her arms around her, and I was like, wow, that was really special.
Yeah, that's great. It's probably because she feels, comfortable around her and she knows who she is. And
Yes.
that's why she's like, okay, might as well,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
That's great. And also you said that she loves babies too. That's another thing that's good. She good with animals too?
She does. Well, dogs are a little bit scary for her. We had one landlord that had these two pugs, and they weren't bad pugs, but he didn't really train them. They jumped a lot, and kept trying to talk to me about something, and the pugs were jumping on her. So she ran upstairs, and they ran after her. I'm like, I gotta go. So
Yeah.
after that, she's been a little afraid of dogs.
Okay, yeah, understandable. I think that's normally smaller dogs. I think they're more louder because bark more and they're more hyper, and I think that's why sometimes maybe the young or I think kids on the spectrum kind of have an issue with them.
Yeah. Oh, I think anybody could if that happened when they were young. Dog jumped on them or
Yeah,
nipped
sure.
at them. That
Yeah.
can happen. I used to be afraid of cats because one scratched my dad. So I was.
Yeah, dogs are pretty deadly. And the dogs, they're even bigger claws sometimes, and for their bite, so gotta just be careful. But I do know that a lot of kids on the spectrum have, like their emotional, is that what you call emotional support dogs? And so I think sometimes those are kind of trained and everything and calm and mellow, and I think it does help out. So I think there's like a good and bad to it, having an animal.
No, I think it's wonderful for them. I think some even have emotional support dogs, which is great.
No,
I can just keep them more calm, and I think that'd be awesome. If maybe someday we'll get that.
I know. I'm thinking about that too. Maybe one day in the future.
Yeah. Yep.
Have my son have his own little dog, just for him.
Yeah.
Do you want to mention also? Did you want to introduce yourself? Because I know that we didn't really properly introduce you. So, did you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
My name is Elizabeth Langer. I'm a chiropractor and acupuncturist in Pittsburgh. Really, I guess one of the things that I've noticed with Emily and that she is pretty delightful. Well, number one, I think I got lucky. And number two, she's been chiropractic since she was a baby.
Wow.
It's completely different than what you usually would expect. It's like a very light touch. It almost looks like a tickle. I think it did a couple of things. It helped to make sure her nervous system was a little bit more in balance. I think it also just encouraged her to be touched by other people. You know what I mean? Like, she was never not touched. And I don't know. I just think it was like a double benefit for her.
Okay. And that's good that you started her young with that. And also, you did acupuncture, right? You said on her too?
Yeah, I think that's really great for kids too. Most kids don't like needles. That's the caveat. I mean, I work with kids with needles and we use teeny tiny needles and it's great. But usually it's like parents really want them to have it, and it's like a mixture, and there's different things you can do, but a lot of times it's also like I'll teach them how to do acupressure, which number one, that's wonderful because I can't come home with you, and it's something, it's just really, it's something that you can do yourself, and I think it really gives kids power, because I think when you're a kid, especially when you have neurodivergent, you feel powerless, and I think it's important that we teach our kids that no, they are sovereign over their own bodies. And that's why I kind of tell the kids, I said, you can tell me no. This is a place where you can say no.
Yeah.
And I encourage it, even though.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's great. I mean, also, I think it helps too with the whole, situation, like you said, with the needles. I mean, start your child young with, doing acupuncture. I think that would help their fear of needles too, because a lot of people have fear of needles.
Oh yeah. I made the mistake with Emily was when she had a sinus infection one time. I just put little needles right here. And she was like, she wouldn't let me do it again until she had the stomach flu. And I was like, Emily, I'm gonna have to do it. It'll be real gentle. And she goes, no. And she grabs it and she puts it in herself. I'm like,
Well,
she does not like needles.
yeah, because she saw herself in the mirror.
What's that?
Because she saw herself in the mirror, or because she saw it.
No, well, some places are just going to hurt more than others, and I think that's why a number of reasons they don't like it, and they might have other experiences with, right here. That's the more painful point. Like you can kind of like hit yourself in the nose, or the nose is really sensitive. So
okay, that makes sense. But also probably scared her too, because probably seeing the needles from her eyes too. Probably was like, in my face, So I don't blame her for that one.
No, she used to like steal my needles and put them in her dolls. I'm like,
oh, hey,
okay,
she's breastfeeding. She's trying to be like mommy.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Until she went to first grade, and then she wanted to be a teacher, and she's wanted to be a teacher ever since. Although now she wants to work in a daycare. So I'm like, whatever you want, sweetie.
That's great. She has some goals going. That's good.
Yeah.
You say that she's pretty self-sufficient? Like, is she pretty independent?
For the most part. I mean, like she'll go through different stages. You think kids can regress a little bit, and that's hard as parents to see that. And I think that's really important for us to find community so we can talk about it and, I'm bringing them through that as best we can and just encourage each other. First off, what's the magic word? And secondly, I'll turn it off when I'm done. Okay. Right. When I'm done. Thank you for using please. Just to kind of talk with each other and support each other through different things. So, and know that it's okay. You don't have to like wave the banner, or you don't have to be anything except just advocates for our kids.
Exactly. Then that's what my podcast is all about, spreading awareness, spreading, being as supportive as possible. I want this to be a safe place to be able to talk about, anything and everything about, the good, the bad, and everything else in between. Because also I want parents to be able to, like I asked you about your proudest moment, because a lot of parents can't even share that. Feel like they can't really brag about their child because they're delayed on certain things. And so I think it's, every milestone is something to brag about and proud about. That's why I want to make sure that you're able to share that.
I think so too, because I'm always happy to see other kids doing well, but and it probably is really helpful that I'm kind of a little spacey myself in some ways.
Are we all?
Oh, you didn't hear that, but Emily just laughed when I said that. She knows. Like I don't always pay attention to what's going on. Like excited to see it, but I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is just a different thing. So I'm not as worried about what other people are doing. Like not that I don't have mom friends, I do, but I don't, like you have the moms that you always hang out with, and I don't have that because it's like, well, I'm actually like making sure I'm actually watching my kid and I'm actually engaged with her. I'm kind of like laser focused on her. Even if I'm across the room, I'm not going to be talking to other moms, and it's not that I'm being rude. I just need to make sure she's okay.
No, that's the thing. I think us, when we have special needs children, I think we don't really advocate to, having like, being with friends, hanging out with friends as much as we used to, because, our focus is on our kids, and our sure that we're there 100% with them, them to where to be. And then I'm sure eventually we'll be able to, spread our wings a little bit more once our children are more stable, more grown, and everything else. So I can understand that.
Yeah. Ironically, my best friends are child free. So
they probably go.
So I mean, that's how it works, and they absolutely adore Emily. So it's just kind of interesting how that works. But
No, it is, yeah. It's just that they have no children at all, or they just,
No, they just don't have children. And I don't know, maybe it's just because of that, they're just so like, wow. And you know what I mean? They're just like, wow. But
right.
it's sort of worked out. But
At least it benefits Emily, right? Gets more attention from everybody.
yeah, she gets a lot of attention.
So that's always
She
great.
tends to get a lot of attention. Yeah.
How old is Emily? She is,
Just turned 13.
I just want to make sure I was correct on that one. Yeah, so she's the same
Yeah.
age, and she starts school.
What's that?
When does she start school?
21st of August.
Okay.
So middle school. I'm a little nervous, but
Yeah. 7th grade?
what's that?
She's going into the 7th grade?
Yeah, 7th grade. So we'll see. I know last year her teachers were like, she can't write with her left hand. She writes beautifully with her right hand. She wants to write with her left hand. Oh, she's bored. I'm like, just do it. You let me worry about it. I got through school. My handwriting was atrocious, so it'll be fine.
No, it's great that she used both hands. You know, a lot of people aren't able to do that, actually. Yeah, in schools, you want to make it to where every child, not every child, but every student is perfect. You know, they write with your right hand, and that's it, you know.
I think there was this famous quote that said, what does education do? It takes a free meandering stream and turns it into a straight cut ditch.
Oh, wow, I never heard of that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I can say that because I went to school long enough.
Yeah, well, remember back in the day, too, where they used to smack our hands if we try to write, you know, not our hands, of course, but, you know,
Yeah.
back in the
Oh,
day.
yeah. My dad even said that. He went to
Really?
Catholic school. I don't think they smacked their heads. He said that they smacked them on the back of the head. And I was like, oh my gosh.
That's just as bad, right? Because I remember, you know, we see that, you know, like the pictures or something like that of the teachers with the ruler smacking the child's hand, the left hand, because they're like, nope, you're not supposed to write with that hand.
Yeah. I mean,
That's like
I
traumatizing.
guess it's like really being bad, but the back of the head, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with but on the back of the head seems a little excessive.
Thank goodness school's not like that no more, right?
I know.
And your daughter's going to in-person school, right?
What's that?
Your daughter's going to in-person school?
Yep. Yeah, she likes it. So I'm like, all right, whatever you want. I would love to. I enjoyed homeschooling her for that short period of time during COVID. It was wonderful. Is that what you do with your son?
Yeah, homeschool him, yeah. He's going to, he's gonna be going into 8th grade. And he's,
Oh wow. I bet that's really benefits, like, 'cause he can really explore and expand.
oh yeah, he loves it. I mean, he refuses to go in-person school. He's like, nope, I'm not going back. He's like, and then that's actually how I kind of get him to do his schooling is by telling him, if you don't get up and do your school, then you're gonna have to go to in-person school. And he's like, no, no, no. And he gets up and starts going. I was just like, I guess, I don't know, for some reason he does not want to go back. So I don't know. He does a lot better at home anyways. His behavior is a lot better here, and I can keep an eye on him, and we're close with his teacher, so we chat back and forth, and
Yeah.
can help, whatever he needs, and he does really good. I mean, he does it mainly on his own. So
That's great.
yeah, he just comes and gets me when he needs help, which is not very often anymore because he's learning the whole, procedures and what to expect and everything else. And so he's good. So it gives me a little time.
That's good. 'Cause I think we all kind of need that a little bit, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Especially seeing them how they are more independent. That's a lot, nice.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's just healthy for us parents just to be able to take a breath.
Yeah, that's for sure. Which we don't do very often, I'm sure, because we're constantly on the go, constantly thinking, constantly worrying. It's a lot.
Yeah. And finally, it's like, it's like the Energizer battery. I'm like, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna drink more coffee. And then I'm like,
Crash. Yeah, that's the fun part, right? The fun part's getting all amped up, and then all of a sudden you crash. You're like, whoa, just happened.
yep.
So yeah, understandable. I fully understand that one. Did you want to share anything else?
I guess if your child is on the spectrum, just take it one step at a time. And, there is help out there, and try and just make sure there's so many different options, and just try and make sure that it fits with you and your family, because no two kids are the same, and give yourself some grace. And if a therapy seems like it's too overwhelming, or a medication seems like it's too harsh, or even the natural stuff, you're like, whoa, what's going on here? Listen to that, because I think you know your child best. And if it's not going to fit with the family, then it's just not going to work. So it has to work for both you and your child. You know what I mean?
I agree completely. I mean, it's all up to us and not, how we want to navigate our children because, advocate, it's like,
Exactly.
it's got to do the best for our kids.
Exactly.
We have to try to get, try to figure out for ourselves too, like what is the best for our child. That's good that,
Understand in their own power. And then I think our kids will see that and know really where they are. It's like far as like acquiring support, they'll need to have that own sense of self and they still need to feel like this is me, this is my body, this is what I want, and this is what's going to be done. No matter, they're able to talk or not.
That is true. Because every child,
they're still a person. They still count.
Yeah, they do. Exactly. Well, I enjoyed you being a guest and I enjoyed the information and sharing about your daughter. I mean, it's been fun and also hearing your daughter.
And the Princess Diaries.
Yeah, and Princess. Oh, I actually don't hear it in the background, but I'm sure your daughter is talking up a storm about it.
Oh, she loves. Well, right now she's actually playing on my phone, so
a little distraction.
a little bit.
All right. Well, it was great meeting you guys. Great talking with you. And
thank you.
Maybe we'll have another episode or talk again soon.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Bye.